This morning, I'm speaking to you not just as a weatherman, but as a neighbor, someone who lives in this community, who understands the challenges we all face when winter turns severe. I know how quickly a normal day can change when the weather takes a turn for the worse, because what's coming is truly historic. We're not just talking about another winter storm, but a once-in-a-generation event that could impact millions of people across the country. A powerful polar vortex is descending on the Midwest and East, bringing a dangerous triple threat: record-breaking snow, crippling ice, and life-threatening cold. This is a rare combination that meteorologists have been tracking closely, and the models are all in agreement. This storm is going to be intense. This isn't your average winter storm. The scale and severity are unlike anything we've seen in recent years, and it's going to affect travel, infrastructure, and daily life in ways we need to be ready for. It's a multi-day event that will test our power grid and our preparedness. Utility companies are already on high alert, and emergency services are gearing up for a challenging week ahead. First, a wave of heavy, wet snow will make travel nearly impossible. Roads will become treacherous, and even snowplows may struggle to keep up with the accumulation. If you don't have to be out, it's best to stay home and off the roads. Next, plunging temperatures will turn that snow into a destructive ice storm. Freezing rain will coat everything in a thick layer of ice, making walking and driving hazardous and increasing the risk of accidents and injuries. Finally, bitter Arctic air will follow, creating energy demand that could trigger widespread power outages. With temperatures dropping well below zero, even a short loss of power could be dangerous for vulnerable populations. Each element makes the others more dangerous. When snow weighs down trees and lines, and then ice adds even more weight, the risk of outages and damage multiplies. Snow weighs down trees and lines, ice adds more weight, and the strain can cause branches and power lines to snap, leading to outages that may last for hours or even days. And if the power goes out, the cold becomes deadly. Homes can lose heat quickly, and staying warm becomes a real challenge, especially for the elderly, young children, and those with medical needs. We're urging everyone from Chicago to Boston, Minneapolis to DC, to take this seriously and finish preparations now. Stock up on essentials, check your emergency kits, and make sure you have a plan in place. My goal isn't to scare you, but to help you protect your family and home. Take a few minutes today to talk with your loved ones about what you'll do if the power goes out, or if you're stuck at home for several days. Stay with us as we break down what to expect and how to get ready. We'll walk you through the steps to stay safe, warm, and prepared for whatever this historic winter storm brings. You've probably heard the term polar vortex tossed around on the news or social media, but what does it actually mean? Why does it matter so much when winter weather turns extreme? The polar vortex is a gigantic, swirling mass of ultra-cold air that typically sits high above the North Pole. It's like a spinning top of frigid air, held in place by powerful winds called the jet stream, which act as a barrier, keeping the coldest air locked up in the Arctic. But sometimes, the jet stream weakens or becomes wavy, and that's when things get interesting. A chunk of this icy air can break away from the main vortex and plunge southward, escaping its usual Arctic home and heading straight for North America. That's exactly what's happening now. A lobe or arm of the polar vortex is barreling down into the central and eastern United States, bringing with it some of the coldest temperatures we've seen in years. This isn't just your average winter chill. This is the pure, bone-chilling cold straight from the Arctic. And it's the driving force behind the triple threat storm we're experiencing: snow, ice, and dangerously low temperatures. When this Arctic air collides with milder, moisture-laden air from the south, it creates the perfect recipe for heavy snow, sleet, and freezing rain, making travel treacherous and increasing the risk of power outages. What makes this polar vortex event especially dangerous is not just how cold it gets, but how long it lasts. Instead of a quick cold snap, this deep freeze is expected to linger for days, keeping temperatures well below normal and making recovery even harder. With wind chills dropping to 30, 40, even 50 degrees below zero, frostbite can set in within minutes. It's a level of cold that can be life-threatening if you're not prepared. This relentless, brutal cold forms the foundation for all the hazards we're facing right now. So understanding the polar vortex isn't just science, it's key to staying safe this winter. The first impact: a massive wave of heavy snow starting late tonight. The heaviest snow will hit from Iowa through northern Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio. Cities like Chicago, Detroit, and Cleveland are in the bullseye. We're forecasting 12 to 18 inches, with some spots near the Great Lakes possibly reaching 2 feet. This will shut down airports, close interstates, and overwhelm snowplows. Travel will be impossible. On the southern edge, places like Indianapolis and Columbus will see a messy, dangerous mix. Minneapolis and Milwaukee will get less snow but more wind and cold, leading to blizzard conditions. The snow will start heavy and wet, sticking to trees and power lines, then turn lighter and blow around as the Arctic air arrives. If you're in the path, be where you plan to stay by tonight. As the coldest air drains south, the second phase begins, a major ice storm. The worst icing will stretch from central Illinois through Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, upstate New York, and into New England. Cities like Indianapolis, Pittsburgh, and Albany could see catastrophic ice, up to half an inch or more. That much ice can snap trees and power lines, causing widespread, long-lasting outages. Roads will become impassable, and emergency vehicles may not reach those in need. The transition from snow to freezing rain will happen tomorrow afternoon and evening. If you're in the ice storm zone, assume you'll lose power and finish preparations now. Take this threat seriously. It can isolate communities for days. The final threat: extreme strain on the power grid. As snow and ice damage lines, the polar vortex will bring life-threatening cold, overnight lows well below zero, highs barely above. Power outages will likely peak as demand for heat skyrockets. Utilities may have to use rolling blackouts to prevent total collapse. The greatest risk: losing power and heat in sub-zero temperatures, especially for the vulnerable. Prepare to stay warm and supplied for at least 72 hours without electricity. This is not just inconvenient, it's a matter of survival. Have a plan for outages now. When a winter storm is on the horizon, preparation is your best defense. Let's talk solutions. Here's your essential storm survival checklist to keep your family safe and comfortable. First, focus on staying warm. Stock up on firewood for your fireplace or wood stove, and make sure your portable generator is in working order before the storm hits. Remember, never use generators or grills indoors, as they can produce deadly carbon monoxide. Double check that your carbon monoxide detectors are working and have fresh batteries. Next, food and water. Have at least 3 days worth of supplies for everyone in your household. Plan for at least 1 gallon of water per person per day, and store extra if you have space. Stock up on non-perishable foods you can eat without cooking, like canned goods, granola bars, and dried fruit. Don't forget your pets. Make sure you have enough food, water, and any medications they need, plus a warm place for them to sleep. Prepare for power outages. Gather flashlights with fresh batteries for every family member, and avoid using candles to reduce fire risk. Keep a battery-powered or hand-crank radio handy to stay updated on weather alerts and emergency information. Charge all your devices ahead of time, and have a portable power bank ready to keep phones and tablets running if the power goes out. Keep your car's gas tank at least half full. Gas stations may lose power or run out of fuel during a storm. Gather extra blankets, sleeping bags, and warm clothes. Dress in layers to trap body heat and stay comfortable indoors. Close off unused rooms to conserve heat, and place towels or blankets at the bottom of doors to block drafts. Check your emergency medical supplies, including bandages, antiseptics, and over-the-counter medications. Make sure you have at least a week's worth of prescription medications for everyone in your household. Fill bathtubs and buckets with water for flushing toilets or washing, in case your water supply is interrupted. If you must use your car for warmth, only do so outside, never in a closed garage, and always clear the exhaust pipe of snow to prevent carbon monoxide buildup. Taking these steps now can make all the difference when a storm hits, keeping your family safe, warm, and reassured. Go through this checklist today, and you'll be ready for whatever winter brings. Here's the timeline for the next 72 hours. Impacts start today as cold air moves in. Heavy snow develops late tonight into Thursday morning, hitting Chicago first. By midday Thursday, Detroit and Cleveland get heavy snow. Indianapolis transitions to freezing rain. Thursday night, the ice storm peaks across Pennsylvania and upstate New York. Arctic air surges in behind the storm, sending temperatures plummeting. Friday brings brutal cold. Highs may not reach zero in Chicago and Detroit, with wind chills as low as 40. The power grid will be under maximum strain. The extreme cold lingers through Saturday, with some sun but little warmth. By Sunday, the polar air retreats and temperatures slowly moderate. Once you're prepared, check on your neighbors, especially the elderly, those living alone, or with medical needs. A quick call or text before the storm can make a huge difference. If you have power and they don't, offer help if it's safe. Clear sidewalks for those who can't. These small acts of kindness hold communities together. Please, stay off the roads unless it's an emergency. Conditions will be too dangerous. Every stuck car is a hazard for emergency crews. By staying home, you help first responders do their jobs. Stay patient and positive. This will be tough, but it will end. Let's support each other and those working to keep us safe. As this historic storm hits, our mission is clear. Stay warm, stay safe, and stay informed. Finish your preparations, communicate your plan, and get ready to hunker down. Remember, property can be replaced, lives cannot. The coming days will be a challenge for everyone, especially utility crews working around the clock. When you see them, thank them. They're on the front lines. The sun will come out again. By next week, the cold will ease and life will return to normal. We'll have stories to tell and lessons learned. Take care of yourselves and each other. We're all in this together. We'll be here with updates every step of the way. Stay safe.